So Stephanie White talks more about Caitlin Clark playing off the ball to give her a rest while she's playing the game and talks about fixing her stance. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
So, hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell when you do so you get notified of our next video. And guess what, Rob? Caitlin Clark's crossovers tonight from 5:30 to 6:30. And it's Mondays, too, from 6 to 7 Eastern time, except for major holidays. It's like a sports reporters type forum. And we have guest podcasters and talk about Caitlin Clark and all sorts of good stuff like the WNBA draft. So Stephanie White's been doing a lot of interviews, and she expanded on what she said about Caitlin Clark playing off the ball and also talked about fixing Caitlin Clark, who's sometimes too upright. And she talks about that in an interview, and we'll play it for you. And if you want me to stop it, Rob, let me know. I stop it anytime you want.
Caitlin Clark, you have a generational talent. Sometimes that word is thrown around, but I think it's really fitting here. What aspects of her game would you like to work with her on for this season?
Yeah, I mean, certainly getting stronger was one. You know, the level of physicality in the W is totally different. That's the way that teams have to try to keep her off balance, keeping a low center of gravity. You know, there are times where she plays a little bit upright, making sure core strength and her ability to move.
All right, Rob, I'll stop it right there. So you've talked about that where she doesn't bend her knees, and that's part of the reason, or that's the main reason she's too upright, right?
Right. That's why, anybody, even me now, could go right by her, or drive right by her because she's too upright. And you got to bend your knees when you play defense. It's almost in any sport. You got to bend your knees in order to move quickly.
And
especially on defense.
Other than not rounding down her 2-point game, that's her biggest weakness is her on-ball defense. So that's good that she's definitely addressing that. I'm not surprised. I knew she would. But anyways, let's hear more.
Move with time under tension and stay in a low center of gravity is important. I think from just a straight basketball perspective, making sure that we help her diversify, her finishing ability, diversify in the way that it's not predictable, to be able to be equal in terms of production and facilitation going right and left, to be able to have different types of finishing looks, whether it's, crossbody finishes, whether it's floaters at the rim, whether it's quick floaters, long floaters, Euros. You can't quite be as fundamentally predictable with as much athleticism, speed, quickness, and as much as the game plan is going to be geared toward her.
Okay, you can stop, Mark. Yeah. When she says Euro, you mean travel? That's what I call it. I'll just say traveling. I'm surprised. What she also left out is her post up. I think she can post up. I saw that one game she did. I think she could post up and work on a turnaround.
Right. I don't think the turnaround is a hard shot, Rob. If you can make it from that distance, you can just practice it by doing the turnaround at the same distance, and you can get it. So I think that, Rob, a lot of players have limited ability going towards the basket, and she did, but hers were rather obvious. She was really good on layups to the right and driving to the right, and not much else around the basket. She could do a little bit to the left, but she had no floater. She had no stop and pop jumper.
Right. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I mean, if she developed a stop and pop, because she can get by the person with her dribbling ability, but just pull up for a shot. Just pull up and put a jump shot, 15 foot. It's very easy for her.
Right. And that was exposed because I saw her drive into the lane and there was like two tall people who were good defenders, and she dribbled right out again because she didn't want to get hit in the head again. That was part of the reason. But now she can just drop a floater and not worry about it. So we'll see. She's working on that. She talked about that in an interview just last week. She admitted she didn't have much of a floater, and she's been working on it. So I expect her 2 game, which is what people say she does no mid-range game, to improve this year. And she does have a mid-range game. She just doesn't take it much in games. She took it more as a freshman, as a sophomore than she did as a junior and senior, which is interesting. But I think she'll get that back, and we'll see what happens. Let's see some more of what she has to say.
And then I think the challenge for us as coaches is how do we get a rest when she's on the floor while she's playing, right? Like while she's on the floor. And some of that's going to be playing off ball, utilize her as a screener, getting her into action on the 3rd and 4th side instead of the 1st and 2nd, where it's easy to game plan against. How we use her to help everybody else be better off the ball. We know how great she is with the ball in her hands. We're not going to take that away, but we've got to be able to diversify a bit in how we use her. So from those kind of challenges as well. I mean, we've got like a short-term kind of list and we got a long-term kind of list, but Caitlin, I remember from the very first day when we were working on balance and we were working on footwork and we were looking at all those things from day 1 to day 2, she had it.
Wow.
Yeah, you can stop it. Yeah.
And she wants it and she's going to work on it. So that long list might get shorter every day. Every day we're in practice.
That was the end. So
with the off the ball, like I said, there's so many things you can do off the ball. They can do a down screen for her coming off a screen, and then and her picking and shooting a jump shot, and then also, like I said, with her screening away, or you screen away for her, and she can come across, come across the middle, come across the key, and be open. I mean, there's so many. I mean, she's a scorer. She's a scorer and a shooter. So if you want to free her up, that's what you do. You set screens for her. Or she can set a screen, and then like after she sets that screen, she can, like I said, post up or move. So there's so many things with Caitlin Clark. I think with a player like she said, she's a generational player. There's so much you can do with her, and also you need to challenge her. She likes that challenge. You got to challenge her with different things, and that way she'll be motivated to work on it.
Right. I liked a lot of things of what you said about the diversity of everything they want trying to do, that they're working on a short-term and long-term plan for her. And that she got it right away, which is good because I think, she gets the defense down and she cuts down on the turnovers. There's no question she'll be the best player in the league this year if that's what happens. No question in my mind. She just has too much talent. I think when she talks about giving her rest while she's playing is a good thing because then they can keep her on the court for more minutes, which is good. I'd like to see her play 32, 34 minutes, but not be tired.
Right. I mean, she had to ask Sides to come out of the game, and then Sides mismanaging her minutes. It's taking her out in a key situation at the end of a game. I mean, I'm like, come on.
Well, Rob, with her having the ball all the time, that takes energy.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why she slacked off a little bit on defense, because she was using so much energy on offense, more than anybody in the country when she was in college. And more than anybody in the league when she was in WNBA, which she still is, obviously. So I think that Stephanie White sees that and says, okay, let's take a little bit of the energy away that she uses on offense by taking her off the ball once in a while and show some more energy on defense, and we can still play her a decent number of minutes, which is what you want because you want your best player out there as many minutes as possible without wearing her out at the same time.
Right. Basketball is kind of fun. I mean, you can actually, that's where you usually rest is on offense. Defense, like I said, is work, but on offense, you can rest. You can actually do a little resting. Like I said, if there's a zone, you pass the ball around 3 or 4 times. And that 5 or 6 seconds is a kind of a rest for a player.
Right. So I see this as all positive right here. Mm-hmm. And you can just tell they have a real coach now, and that's really all we need to say. We've said it enough in the past about Christy Sides.
Never heard this. Did you hear this? Ever hear anything like this out of Sides' mouth?
No, I just heard her throw players underneath the bus and not take responsibility. That's all I heard. I didn't hear anything strategically that was insightful, Rob, in a whole year of following the Fever last year. Let's be honest.
Right.
So things are going to change. I have a lot of confidence in this team, Rob. I think they're the favorites. Sorry, people say New York Aces, whatever, Lynx. They're just one of 4 favorites, maybe, but I think they're the favorite.
I mean, they're definitely the favorite. I mean, Liberty, they had a key player, but I really like this Fever team. I like the Fever. I like the team. I like the coach. That's what I see. I like the coach and her attitude, the way she's got, how to improve. Like I said, there's a way to, like she said, everyone needs to improve. Caitlin Clark, yeah, you stand too tall. You got to bend your knees.
All right. Well, that's great. She slide her feet better. She better on ball defense, better player. People stop making fun of that. And then if she wins a championship in an NBA MVP, what are they going to have left to say then, Rob? They'll think of something.
She can do that neener to you,
Now they'll think of something. They'll say, they had to put an all-star team around her for her to win a championship. She's not a winner.
Right. They'll find something. Yeah, they'll find something.
In reality, we know if that all happens, they'll take all the complaints about her away.
Right.
So that's all that matters. At least we'll be satisfied that she's an all-around player now. You could pick apart. Here's the thing, Rob. Yeah, she has all these little weaknesses, but so do all the other players. But no one's scrutinized as much as she is. Yeah,
No.
if Asia Wilson was in the news every day, all day, and all her games are televised and her videotape was broken down, you don't think they'd find weaknesses in her game? And same thing with Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart. They find little things all the time that they can't do, that they're limited in their abilities. They're just not analyzed to that degree. So I'm not saying they're not great players, because I think three of them are great all-around players. Although Brianna Stewart's, I think, is going downhill. Maybe it's because of her knee injury. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens this year. We'll see who the best player in the league is. All right, let us know what you think down below about the interview with Stephanie White and other interviews you've heard in the past from her. You can comment on those too. And if you're looking forward to her as the coach and how this team's going to be different. And if you feel you want, you can share this video with your family, friends, and acquaintances. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell when you do, so you get notified of our next video. And join us for Caitlin Clark's crossover tonight. That's Thursday, 5:30, 6:30, Mondays, 6 to 7. And we'll go live for all the Caitlin Clark games that are on nationally televised TV. Looks like it's going to be 41 out of 44. And also, the game against Brazil is now going to be on ESPN 1 or 2, depending on whether the NBA playoffs of that series that they're following goes to Game 7. So we're going to go live for that. So join us for those live games. If you haven't donated to this channel, you can with Super Chats and Super Thanks and link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.